Hello everyone, I am PyroFalkon and this is Hardspace Shipbreaker. This is our fourth day of our new career and yep, still got a $1.2 billion debt. But hey, now that tens of millions number has gone down a bit. Alright, hey, we got a picture too. Achieve a perfect salvage of over 95%. See, in this game, perfect does not mean 100%, because I think it is physically impossible to get 100% salvage, no matter how long it takes you, because you're going to have to cut something eventually. So, 95% is good enough for us. Alright, so, time to do our second ship. And just as a reminder, especially for anyone who did not get through the entire last episode, if you want to see more of this game, please let me know in the comments, because I could stream the living crap out of this game, or play it, or do episodes, whatever you want to call it, because I love it so damn much. Die 5 times through furnace incineration? What a terrible achievement or sticker to chase. Alright, Mini-me, achieve a perfect salvage. Yeah, we'll put you on there. Okay. Alright. Oh, also, before we start our day, we need to check our equipment. If any equipment is less than 60%, I repair it. Looks like we're good for now. Thrusters are going to need some repair soon. But now that we have 56 license tokens, links tokens up at the top right, those are what you use. Those are basically your skill points, and they allow you to upgrade your gear. So if we go to our thrusters, we can't do anything. Never mind. Is there anything we can upgrade? See, the solid yellow stuff is something we already have. Nope, can't upgrade anything. Okay, well, that's fine. Let's just get to work. So there's nothing stopping you from continuing your ship, even when it's completely gone. You're just going to waste everyone's time, and you're going to add $500,000 to your debt for no reason, so we don't want that. So I'm going to look through our ships here. I'm looking at the rewards in the bottom right. So this, provided we... So, and when I factor in the rewards, I'm only looking at the getting all the goals, because the game's too fun not to get all the goals. It just is. So it looks like this one is going to give us the most rewards, because it's 23 MP per goal. We'll get 2 repair kits. Yeah, it's definitely the best. Okay, so we'll get this one first. So that pop-up just said, if you left anything in the salvage yard, then it's gone forever, and we're like, that's fine. Got plenty of fuel. Usually I'll rebuy it if I'm at less than half a tank, but this should be good enough. So let's turn on our headlamp. Kind of look around here. Oh god, I move so slow compared to my end game. Alright, everything is depressurized. That's what the little red rectangles are over there on the left. Eventually you have to worry about pressurization. But I do not right now. So we're gonna... So you want to work from the outside in. And if you ever use the power cutter, which is this thing, you want to hold on to a wall or something, as I'm doing, because if you don't do that, almost certainly you're going to go flying backwards, even when you use that cutter, and it can really make you waste your time. So you're constantly learning, man. I love this game so much. You're constantly learning. And since you're right-handed, you always have to grab stuff with your left if you want to use a tool at the same time. So positioning is important. Like this allows me to cut both of those in one shot without being sent halfway across the friggin' space yard. There we go. Easy peasy. Alright, so now we're going to get into the ship and start cutting. So, I don't know how much y'all want me to discuss strategies or whatever with this game. But I have definitely learned how to play. You basically want to work from the outside in. Like, your first job should be to get rid of anything on the outside, especially if it's extremely heavy, just to get it out of your way, so you can maneuver a little bit otherwise. Like that. And once pieces start breaking free, then you can kind of determine how to attack the ship. One of the Steam reviews,
Your equipment durability is dropping. Keep an eye on it.
It's alright. We're still over 60%.
When you see it happening, head on back to the hab, use a repair kit to fix them up.
What he doesn't tell you is you cannot repair your equipment during a shift. You have to end your shift if you absolutely need to repair something. That's why repairing should be the first thing you do, or I guess the last thing you do, before you start your shift. And that's why you want to have that window. So that's why 60% is my window. My window used to be like 20%. But when crap breaks, or when stuff is that low, you really suffer the effects. And it's a sliding scale, it's not a binary. So for example, as your cutter gets damaged, it will heat up faster. And the amount of heat that it can take is a lot lower. So it's not as simple as like, once you reach a certain percentage, it's guaranteed to break. It's not like that. Because, like I said, it's not a binary.
Salvage deposit secured.
There we go. Good. So you have to kind of weigh the pros and cons of how much you're willing to let your equipment, suffer. And my line is 60%. And if you play this for yourself, your line might be different, and that is okay. Anyway, strategies aside, we're gonna... Alright, the best thing you can do is try to make a hole so you don't have to worry about doors anymore. And that is what is going on here. Gonna try to push that a little bit. Push! Okay. There we go. Now we can get in and around the ship. And the best part about opening a hole is that gives you a direct line to the barge. So you can just grab a thing and huck it. Grab a thing and huck it. Grab a thing and huck it. And that is how you become efficient. Grab a thing and huck it. Grab a thing, huck it. Grab a thing, huck it. Yeah, that's what you do. Ooh, we can't do too much hucking here because we're still a little closed off from the barge there, but that's okay. I think I'm just going to have to treat this like I did the previous one and cut a hole in the side and then cut... Wait, oh no, I don't have to cut a hole in the side. I can just do that. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, one of the reviews on Steam described this game as basically a 3D puzzle, and that is extremely accurate. I kind of made the face when I first read that, but no, it is 100% accurate. This game is a 3D puzzle, and every ship is just slightly different, especially with some of the nuances of some of the things you can cut and try to get. Not cut. Collect. Salvage. Like, this outer shell is generally the same no matter what. But... well, I'm sure I will be able to find an example on this ship. So blathering is not going to really be all that necessary right now. Oh yeah, this is going to be a quick job now that we have tethers. The tethers, man, the tethers changed the game. And again, like with everything else in the game, oh god, oxygen, oh, oxygen. In normal mode, Weaver is a lot more, forthright about yelling at you. I depended on Weaver telling me about my oxygen. So now, oh god, and I move so slow. I will have a nice day. Machine voice, now that I can you know, breathe. Anyway. This is going to be a quick job now that we have tethers. Because I don't think this one's going to be any, like, too much more complicated than the previous ship. Oh, I'm playing with a controller, by the way. I tried playing with a keyboard, mouse and keyboard, and I don't know why. This is way more controller-friendly, which makes sense, because if this was made... I mean, this is on Game Pass, so by definition, it's on the Xbox. And it's clearly... That is how it works, right? I actually don't own an Xbox, so I'm not 100% sure. Anyway. Boosh. Let's see. Oh, something's still attached to... Is it that? Anyway, this game's very controller-friendly. I found the controls a little funky at first, but... Nothing I couldn't learn. What is still attached? How is this still attached? Not these pieces, surely. Maybe? I kind of don't believe you, game. I'm gonna cut this first instead. I didn't think the wires could physically hold the ship together, but maybe they can. There we go. Alright, yeah, there we go. A huge chunk just got opened. Because I was watching the weight, and it said 29,000 kilograms, but now that I've cut all of that, the weight drops to only 5,900 kilograms, so something has changed. Yeah, there we go. One of my favorite parts of this game, if not my absolute favorite part of the game, is watching the ship get peeled like that. Just peeling off a large chunk is so cool. I love this game so much. Okay, that should be fine. All those electrical cables are supposed to go into the furnace, but I don't think they're very valuable. So I think it's just going to be quicker for me to do that. So, and I'll keep my eyes up in the top left, and we'll see if indeed the payment bears that out. So, grab this. Oh yeah, that absolutely... that was a lot of destruction. Those electrical cables were worth close to 100,000. That percentage-wise, it was not that much.
Shift clock says 5 minutes left.
Yep, copy that. You can actually see there in the top center the red bar that's creeping in from the right, which shows you just how much you've destroyed. And unless that number or that red bar is really wide, you know, it's fine. You don't need 100% of the ship. It's a fool's errand to chase 100% of the ship when you don't need to. Because all that's going to do is waste your time. And what I really like in the game with the debt system, wasting your time becomes a thing. Like, you want to minimize time waste. You have to, because you have a debt that you need to deal with. So that means you need to figure out how to save time and therefore save money as much as possible. Speaking of which, I am surprised how many of my regular viewers have played this game already, because several people from my friends list and just the people, those of you I interact every day with on my Discord, have talked about how you've played this game and how wonderful it is. And my question to you is, how did no one recommend this to me? I'm a little agitated that no one has recommended this to me, and I found it on my own. Because blue-collar simulators are my thing. In fact, I want to do more blue-collar simulators on the show. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to try to be a little bit more focused on the games that I enjoy. And that means sometimes I'll pre-play them just to make sure. Sometimes that means we're gonna try, and we're gonna get a couple stinkers, and so it goes. But for the most part, I want to try to play games that I really, really like, or at least can get something out of. And most blue-collar simulators are going to be games that I'm going to enjoy and can get some stuff out of. So if you ever see a blue-collar simulator that you want me to play, do not be shy. Let me know in the comments or the Discord once I return to it. And let me know, because I want to play more blue-collar sims. Although, I will tell you right now, do not suggest lawn mowing simulator. Just don't. Just don't. Just don't. I can get that one on Game Pass. And I thought about trying Lawnmower Simulator, but every video I've seen of it looks so fucking boring. Even for me, loving meditative games, Lawnmower Simulator just does not seem like my kind of thing. But, I mean, we've got Gas Station Simulator, which I messed around with a little bit on my Discord. But any blue-collar simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator kind of counts. American Truck Simulator I've done. Let's see. PC Building Simulator. You know, any of those. Where you're running a business. I want to try more. The problem is a lot of these games, a lot of the blue-collar simulators aren't doing anything new. I mean, they're run a business, yes, but there's not really a lot of variety when it comes to the mechanics. You know, stock some shelves, buy some goods, and keep your stock up, and so on. This game, Hardspace Shipbreaker, is very new. Like this 3D movement, the singular focus on the ship breaking without really any other nonsense distracting you. And I also like that the game is not trying to do anything weird to keep your attention. Like, there is a storyline, depending on how much of this we do. Oh god, I grabbed the power junction box. You don't want to get too close to that thing. I don't want to spoil the story, just in case, you know, depending on how much of this I actually do. But, like, there's no wacky character who says a bunch of perverted things just to get attention. There's no sexually aggressive lady character who's constantly throwing her cleavage in your face. Like, it's very, very focused on doing the job and semi-realistic characters, or if not realistic characters. And I believe that is definitely to the game's what's the opposite of detriment? Positive to the game's credit is good. I'll talk more in a second after these ads. So I love this game. Like, I cannot fault any of the game other than I wish there was more of it. I wish you could have to take apart a battleship that would take you 10 real-time hours. Oh, we finished our day, but we don't get to sleep yet. We have an incoming transmission. Yes, thank you, voice. This gives me a chance to drink my coffee. Oh, okay. The game kind of sucked me into the window. I don't know why the game sucked me into the window. Receive call.
Hey, Rook. I was thinking our crew should crack some beer sometime. You know, shoot the breeze, fantasize about a debt-free life and all that. Not that that's gonna happen anytime soon. Like, Weaver's been at this for years. 20, maybe? I was just getting kicked out of grade school when he started. Dee Dee,
I've been doing YouTube for 11 years.
Goes through links, of course, with huge transfer fees. And Kaido, well, look, Kai's great. He just hasn't really taken to the work. Lynx calls him a low earner. As for me,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. I just need enough to get me one of those mining skiffs. You know, for belt running. Still so many rich rocks along the frontier line. Eventually want to hire some friends from back home. Oh, the Airs platforms. Around Mars? Good people. But work's hard to find there. Don't know when that'll be, though. Just when I think I'm earning at a steady clip, there's another fine or fee. This job's fun as hell and all, but I got other plans.
I feel you, Lou.
Anyway, don't want to get a fine for tying up comms. Kidding. That's not a thing. I don't think. Either way, good luck, Rook. Lou out.
Lou's good people. So this is what I mean. Like, working in Walmart as long as I did, which was just almost 10 years. It was 9 years and 10 months, I believe. I met these people. Hero Cutter mentioned the word beer. We got a beer sticker. Well, flip yeah, I'm gonna slap a beer sticker on my tools.
Up there, Cutter. Seems like you're getting the knack for it. Trust me, when you get well versed in the art of shipbreaking, it becomes a joy to show up to the yard each day. Ain't a trade like it. Dancing between the ribs of a ship, spitting heat, do-si-doing with a 10-ton panel, taking a breather, gaze out at the rest of the human race, buzzing in the distance. Huh. Can you tell I miss it? It's all right. Helping y'all get there is near as good. Ah, dang it. I got corporate ringing me. Good luck out there today, Cutter. Talk to you again soon. We were out.
Good luck out there, Weaver. I met these people. Like, this game, the writing of this game actually gets to me because I have met all of these people. Not the voice actors, obviously. Obviously, I hope it's obvious that I'm speaking basically metaphorical. But I mean, in Walmart, the Walmart I worked at, like, there are so many talented people there, and very few people, who were working there among the rank and file wanted to work at Walmart. Like, everybody was there for the paycheck. And I mean, there were artists, like the visual artist I use for my book cover. He was at Walmart. He was one of my Walmart coworkers. There was a guy named Eric who is a phenomenal musician. I mean, there were so many people there with dreams and ambitions that went beyond working retail for a faceless giant corporation. And it's nothing that any of you who have held jobs wouldn't have heard before, right? I mean, we're all in the same kind of boat with that, and I get it. And I don't think this game is going to show too much of that you personally wouldn't have known unless you haven't worked one of those jobs before. But the way Weaver was talking about taking a moment to just take a breath and look around, like, I mean, that's doable. The art of this game is gorgeous. The space skybox is a little too starry for real life, but it works for, the purpose of the game. If we can get over here and take a quick look at the planet, just seeing it down there is pretty. Obviously, and some of this is suspension of disbelief. This is obviously not real Earth as it would look or whatever. Although I do find it an interesting choice that much of the Earth here, as you can see, is not green anymore, which is absolutely the correct decision to make for the plot. Like, you can see a little bit of green there where my reticle is pointing. Not the square, but the reticle. But, like, the rest of this is just dirty, gross brown now because all the corporations have sucked up all the nature. Florida's underwater. I didn't notice that until just now. You can see the outline of Florida there, but it's underwater now. So cool. Wow, very good detail to the art. But in Walmart, like, you couldn't do that. You could step outside and breathe the air during the summer, maybe. But, like, Walmart is so soulless. Because, I mean, if you just stand there and take in the sights, all you're taking in is people, shoppers. And it's not exactly a good cross-section of humanity. You know what I'm saying? So, it's, I don't know, man. There's just so much talk of ambitions and plans. I mean, even me, you know, I was definitely not immune to it because I worked at Walmart throughout, let's say, I started when I was 25 and I quit when I was 34. So while I was there, I mean, I had my ambitions. My books hadn't come out yet. I hadn't even considered YouTube. Hell, when I started at Walmart, YouTube was only 2 years old at that point. It was pretty much nothing but cat videos. Definitely not Let's Plays. So it was just, you know, but I had my ambitions. I was in college, or taking college courses, not really in college. And I had things I wanted to do too. And for me, it was always, you know, get through the paycheck, yes, or get the paycheck, but turn that paycheck into something that can help me in my future and give me a little bit of happiness rather than just the just this minimum wage, you know, kind of life. So I had the bosses like Weaver who cared and wanted to. Ooh, they've changed that, I think. Sorry, real quick. I was expecting that after I cut that floor panel, I would have to move this table because since I played this even a couple weeks ago, there have been a few patches, and it used to be that even the table would kind of glue the floor panel, and I think it seems they've patched that, which is good, because the table should not have been able to glue the floor panel. Like, I was prepared to deal with it just as a rule of the game, but it seems they've changed that for the better, and unfortunately, the ship is so light now that it's moving a lot on its own, so we're going to have to kind of work with that a little bit. Anyway. But yeah, I had my own ambitions with the channel, or with life, and I was saving up my paychecks from Walmart to do various things. Something is on fire. I need to stay the fuck away from that. I don't know what got set on fire, which is another reason why you always want to be careful doing the job. Oh, was that the bunny? Did I burn up the bunny? Oh, I should have collected the bunny first. Oh, I feel bad now. Oh well, we'll get another bunny. You actually have to get a bunny in order to beat the game. So, another bunny will show up. Oxygen is critical. We should be able to finish the ship up today. So, yeah, man. Oh, I was saying I had the boss that was very kind. You know, the one who had kind of resigned himself to making this his career, Walmart, that is, making Walmart his career, but he didn't mind so much. It was really my first direct boss over assembly, which is where I spent the majority of my Walmart career, because he was an older guy. He was retired from his real job, so to speak, and was doing Walmart just for a little extra money. So he, you know, he didn't care, and none of the corporate bullshit bothered him, because what did he care if he was fired? So he took it upon himself to kind of teach us the ropes and try to keep us mentally grounded for when Walmart got really stupid with its policies and its managers who thought they were hot shit just because they were managers. You really get to know people in retail, man. You really get to know the people who, like, they really think that because they're a nighttime manager or whatever, and they can write you up, they think that that they own you. and that they can dictate your life, and you better teach them respect or show them respect in all this. There are the bosses like Weaver in the game who they just care about your well-being and try to get you through the day because you're all in this together and you're all suffering together. And the bad manager, like, you'll see that character too. They did not they were not shy about introducing that character to the proceedings here in the game. So yeah, man, this is great. And I really wonder if I wouldn't have liked the game as much if I didn't have those Walmart experiences and, had met these people, so to speak. Yeah. All right. I'm going to quickly look to see if there's a high-value object, but I don't think there is. I think we have torn the ship down to its absolute core at this point. And I think everything else is for the furnace. Let's see. Those are suit patch kits, so I don't need those. That is for the furnace. Okay. Yep, we'll just send everything to the furnace. So I use multiple tethers when I'm moving large objects. It's for control, not for speed, but there is a speed advantage to doing so. However, by anchoring it with multiple points on the tethers, you make sure that it moves straight, which was the point there. And I'm just going to watch it go, and that should get us to goal 5. We're going to have a lot of destruction, but mainly lights, and I don't think that will be a problem. Let's see. Come on, baby, get us to goal 5. That's all I care about. Yes, there we go. Okay. Perfect. Done. Ship is broken. Let's head back inside. Looking at the clock, I've been at this for 31 minutes. Let's do one more ship, man. Make this, like I said, kind of mini streams where we're, yeah. Boop. All right, we'll enter the hab. Call that a good day. This is hard-earned work. Let's have some of that plastic-free coffee. Not counting the packaging. This is totally plastic-free. Oh, wow, I used all of the ship. I mean, some of it was destroyed, obviously, but usually I don't have 0.0% and $0 remaining. Hey, rank 5. We can probably upgrade a tool. And, yeah. I'm kind of hoping the bad manager character is introduced, but...
You have 1 incoming transmission waiting.
Okay. Let's answer the intercom.
Hey, Rook. You ever think about starting your own business out there?
I do. All the time.
Be your own boss?
All the time. Being my own boss is the greatest experience I've ever had.
I'll get a decent belt runner and make my own money. Maybe bring my old man along to help sniff out the good rock. My dream is to tinker with ship designs. Maybe build some machinery to help with heavy-duty mining. Make it safer. If we ever both get out of here, I'd hire you in a heartbeat. If you don't end up coming with me, I hope you get to make your own way out there. Definitely ping me if you do. Lou out.
Thanks, Lou. Man, I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. The end of this game actually made me a little teary-eyed, which I won't spoil, like I said, I won't spoil the plot, but, it's because I know these people. And I didn't anticipate that I would fall so in love with the game based so hard on the writing and the voice acting, which is all very, very, very good. Oops. Let's see. Make sure all my emails got cleared, which they did. Awesome. Oh, we're about to do our first reactor. Okay. So I am going to intentionally destroy the ship just because I want to show you all something. And another reason why I love the game so much. So, let's see. I want to do this one for real, so I'll do this one, and then cause a problem. So, one of the things that the game really does well is it gives you, or it does destruction pretty well. you can cut anything. And although the ships are kind of designed in squares, as you've seen, the panels are squares, the bars are always in square, everything is in cubes. The game is programmed that that's not necessarily the way you have to go with it. And the airlock was on the other side this time. So the biggest thing, one of the most valuable things you can get that you can salvage in the game is a reactor core. But they are also very difficult, because if they are shaken or damaged in any way, they will explode and cause severe damage to the ship and your face if you're too close. So once you start the extraction process, you only have a limited amount of time to try to put it in the barge. So what we're going to do is we're going to extract it, and then I'm going to just leave, because I want you to see the level of destruction that it is. Now, luckily, it gives you a ton of time to actually deal with, and its explosion radius is not as large as you may think it is. Oh, it's causing a fire. It's already snapped that panel off. I'm seeing it move a little bit there. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's gonna go. Beautiful. And look at the top bar, and you can see how much of the ship has been damaged permanently because I let that happen. But more to the point, you can see, like, nothing is in squares now. Like, everything is in chunks and jutting at odd angles. And I can pick this stuff up and try to put it, one piece at a time into the appropriate pot. But this becomes a disaster, and it takes you forever to try to, take each piece and put it away in the proper way. But because the game uses, Newtonian physics, where even though you're in space, you're still sorta kinda in water, because if it was in a true vacuum, all of these pieces would have been billions of miles away by now. Not literally, but it wouldn't have just stopped a short distance away like this. So it still gives you a chance to kind of try to figure this stuff out and try to, no pun intended, but salvage your operation. Like, try to do as best you can despite causing this much destruction. But it's also very interesting that it's like a moment in time, just seeing how all of these pieces are just kind of here. And seeing where the explosion happened, and seeing just the destruction and the gutting that happened. But yeah, so we're gonna call it a wash. And again, if this is not real, like if I'm trying to get the best score or whatever at this point, I would do what I could with the ship with the 11 minutes I have left. But it's better, for the sake of the show, that I just wrap up my day and I just say, oops, I'm gonna go ahead and go home early after that fuck up. And try to do better tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day. So, we've got a message first.
You have 1 incoming transmission waiting.
Okay, hopefully this isn't getting chewed out for blowing that ship up.
Howdy, Rook.
What's up, Lou?
This can be an awkward subject, but you've probably
Yeah,
noticed
no
Link
shit.
doesn't take
What was your
care of
first
us.
clue? The
Up
$1.25
until
billion
maybe 100
debt we
years
had?
ago, workers like us would sometimes form these groups called unions and go toe-to-toe with the company. They'd argue for better wages, safer work, decent hours, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Lynx was actually part of getting rid of them, but some of us are trying to bring it back. I can tell you're a good person and a hard worker. The company will use you up. It's just built that way. So I thought you might be interested in the Union News Group. There are new messages every couple of days. Read them, don't read them, trash them, whatever. Just keep it on the down low. The others don't know about it. Weaver and Dee are a bit too by the book. Kaido is just too anxious. Poor kid. But I wanted you to have the info. I was glad someone gave it to me when I was new. Okay, spiel over. See you in the yard, Rook. Flew out.
Cool. So yeah, the main storyline is that, just the idea of trying to unionize here and the fallout that will happen because of unionization. Because of, oh god, that's so much money. Holy crap. But yeah, because of what's going on in the game industry and the wider world, unionization is becoming a bigger thing than it was in the 80s and 90s and aughts, and I guess even in the 10s. Amazon is starting to unionize in a couple specific spots, and of course the corporations hate it and want you to make sure that you don't unionize, and they will emotionally manipulate you to make sure you can't unionize. I'm not going to talk about pros and cons or anything like that because I am not... Ooh. This gives more experience points. This gives another repair kit. I already have, 13 repair kits? Is that what that said? 12 repair kits. I don't need more repair kits. Okay, so yeah, we'll just go for the experience points then. So this is 29 experience points and 24 license points. Ooh. Wait, 23, 24. Okay, yeah, so this top ship is the best one. Okay. Usually the top ship in your list is the most rewarding ship, which is cool. It's a good way to, kind of shortcut the interface a little bit if you just want to get on with things. Just pick the top ship and you'll get your maximum rewards. So anyway, I am not qualified to talk about unionization. I've done my own research about what I think is the best choice for me. If indeed I have to go back to Walmart or a different company, and I will make my choice from there. And I encourage you all that if you have such a job where unionization may or may not be a thing, that you make your own choices as well. But I will say, everybody always acts within their own self-interest. So, and that's just advice for life. So, the company is going to advise you based on what is in the best interest for the company. And the union is going to advise you based on what is in the best interest of the union. One of the dirty secrets, I guess, that's not really a dirty secret, but it's something people don't think about, is no corporation is your friend. They will all act like your friend, but no corporation is your friend. No company is your friend. They all want to sell you something. And unfortunately, that even includes people like me to a small extent. I would argue that the smaller the business is, usually the more they will care about you personally. But even I have my limits. As I record this, I believe my count was 8,280 subscribers. And even if you're all and probably this video is getting, maybe 100 views? Hopefully, at best 100 views. I physically cannot care about all of you exactly equally. That's not feasible. Humanity and brains and emotions and subjectivity do not work that way. I cannot care equally about all of you. However, I do care about you. I care about your health and well-being in general terms. I want you happy, healthy, and safe. That is always that is the line I use when it comes to the show and my my sign-offs. But it's not just a line. I do care about you. I do want you all to be happy, healthy, and safe for whatever that may mean in your current circumstance. But I cannot know exactly what that means for everybody, because if everyone told me everything about their day, I would literally never get anything done else. That said, corporations like Walmart do not care about you at all. They care about your money. They want you to spend money in their store. And to an extent, that's okay for the same reason. Like, Walmart employs 1.7 million people or something. I believe Walmart is the largest private employer, at least in the United States, possibly the world. I cannot remember, for a single company. And by the way, this is not to bash Walmart or anything, because every company is the same way. It doesn't matter if you work at EA or Activision Blizzard or Starbucks or Tim Hortons or McDonald's or fucking anything. Every company is going to be the exact same way. They do not care about you beyond what they absolutely have to. Individuals can. Your manager might be the sweetest person in the freaking world and care about your day, but that's your manager from a personal perspective. It's not your manager from a corporate perspective. The corporation does not care about you. And so you have to make sure you keep that in mind no matter what side of any debate you're on, because when any entity tries to appeal to your emotion, you need to be smart enough and sharp enough not to fall for it, because they probably don't have your exact desires and needs and goals in mind, because they can't. There's just too many people out there. So a lot of times when it comes to work and employment, alliances are just out of convenience, you know? So for example, there were times in Walmart where I did put in extra work because their goal aligned with mine. Like, for example, if I needed more money, you know, because I had if I had an emergency expense and I needed more money immediately, I was willing to do a 12-hour day, a 14-hour day. My record at Walmart was a 16-hour work shift, which I volunteered for because I needed the money and they needed the work done. Was it safe or healthy? No. But it needed to be done for that moment, and so I was willing to do it. And that was an alliance of convenience. And that's okay too, but you just have to keep that in mind. Just because Walmart allowed me, so to speak, to work for that long does not mean we're friends, and does not mean I'm a corporate drone, and does not mean that they are always going to do me a favor. It was a temporary alignments out of convenience for us having aligned needs and goals, and it's always important to remember that. So whatever decision you make about any company, you always want to keep that in mind. So ends Pyro's life teachings? I don't know. What am I doing right now? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm dying from oxygen loss is what I'm doing, because you didn't yell at me from the future to go get oxygen. Damn it. Oh God, why are my thrusters so slow? It feels like I move slower when I'm running out of oxygen. I don't know if that's true, but it certainly feels that way. Oh boy. There we go. I'm good. Everything's fine. Alright, so hopefully there's a med kit on board, so I don't have to waste money getting one, but didn't take that much damage, so I should be okay. Yeah, anyway, I flippin' love this game. It gave me a lot of those thoughts, too. Like, it gave me thoughts about unionization and just work in general. Because I've been out of it for so long, you know. I've been doing YouTube full-time for over 5 years now. And in that time, there have been moments where I've kind of forgotten. Maybe not forgotten. Forgotten's probably the wrong word. But I just don't think about what it's like to have to work for someone else, because, you know, 5 years is a lot of time being my own boss. Whoops. And being able to dictate my own hours and that kind of thing. But I mean, even then, sometimes I've been making really dumb decisions for my own health, or I should say against my own health, in an effort to try to do more for the show. And the show, I don't think, has suffered for it. In fact, I don't even argue there are parts where the show has benefited from me making not so healthy decisions, but it's starting to catch up with me. And I do believe that you should have a good work-life balance. And I also believe that I do not have a good work-life balance, and I need to start trying to fix that. Come on, come off of there. Come off of there. I have to be careful here. I don't want to... because that reactor is right there, so I don't... There we go. There we go. Just had to give it a little nudge. Oh, what's that thing? Oh, that's part of the metal. Okay, so that whole thing can be processed. And so this is actually, this is part of it. This is part of the reason why I'm doing this game. I want to experiment doing longer videos, but fewer videos of games that I really, really, really like, and see how they do on the channel. So it's not... that way I don't have to feel pressured to do Monster Rancher and Evil Genius every 5 seconds. Okay, I have now opened a path to get the reactor into the barge, so this will be nice and easy. We just extract it, and then push it, and then once it gets in there, there we go. The meltdown is stopped. I get a crap ton of money, and everything is coming up Pyro. So... the big thing with that, as Weaver says, is you want to make sure you have an exit strategy when you start to extract the thing, the reactor. You want to make sure you have an exit strategy when you extract the reactor. And that's not just an exit strategy for the reactor itself, but an exit strategy for you physically in case you bump it. And I've made the mistake a few times. I have destroyed ships accidentally by bumping the reactor and not realizing I bumped it, or even cut the reactor and not realize I cut it until it was too late. And I'm having a lot of error messages right now. Yeah, things are not... like, my equipment is starting to fall apart, so we need to fix that. Did I get everything off of there that I needed to? Yes. Yes? Yes. Okay, good. Yes, that is all... yes, that is all for the processor. And then here, because of that fuel tank, I think I'll be able to grab it and then gently move it backwards between those posts. Then we face down. And this time I'll tether it because it was so heavy the last time that it was hard to get it in there. Into the barge. There we go. One of the things the tutorial says is you don't have to worry about hucking stuff because everything has a dampening field. The buckets, so to speak, have a dampening field. So you can huck the reactor into the barge or the fuel canister into the barge, and that's fine. You're not going to cause damage, which is also a very good, very, very good design choice from a game design perspective. Did I break this off? Yes, I did. So that goes to the processor.
Oxygen reserves are low.
And then we have 2 minutes and some odd left. It's gonna take me a little bit of extra surgery to get the airlock out of there. So I will show you this as I'm running out of oxygen. This purple thing is a power supply, a power cell. When you remove all of those, the ship becomes unpowered. And that sounds like it would be a good thing, because that means there's no electricity everywhere. However, sometimes you need to open doors, and every door is opened electronically unless you cut it. So it's never good to completely power down a ship until you are 100% sure that you don't need anything else from it. And that comes from a little bit of experience. That comes from playing the game enough that you know what things can be cut or captured and what things cannot. And the most important thing with keeping the ship powered right now are the engines, which I'm going to try to separate the engine from the cap, because unlike our previous ships, I noticed that the engines are in this one. So... Oh, it's those engines. Never mind. Okay, these thrusters are dangerous. Yeah, we definitely don't have enough time in this game day to deal with that. So, oh, this is another Pyro pro tip. This is something I did not see the first time. Some of these, what you should do when you're playing the game is to look for access panels. That's these squares that have this kind of border on them with the circle and the little line right here, because these are easily cut, and what they have in them is usually a separate piece. So it's easier, for example, to get through this thing than it is to get through this thing. All right? And in this case, this is an air filter, and this air filter is supposed to go into the barge, whereas this is just an aluminum panel that just goes into the furnace. And you can tell the difference visually pretty easily. I mean, the air filter looks like a filter because it has all these little sections in it. But that doesn't, you don't, the game doesn't tell you that. You have to pick up on that yourself. So we will open this up to get rid of both of those on our next working day. There is never a penalty for just running out the clock, other than the fact that you are yanked out of the shift and teleported back into the hab. Like this. But hey, we dropped another digit on the debt. We're now at 1.23 billion. We are making progress. I'm gonna drink some more plastic-free coffee, and provided there's no message. Okay, here's our last mid-roll ad of the episode. And now we're back. And now it's time to finish that ship up. Oh yeah, I grabbed the posters. You can use those posters to customize your work environment if you want to. I'm gonna home decor. Yeah, let's change those out. That's a cool picture. I like that picture. I know this poster is a parody of something, but I don't know what the source is of it. I know I've seen it floating around the internet, but I don't know what that's parodying. Anyway, all right, let's grab our workstation. And yeah, our thrusters are too damaged. We're going to repair that. You don't have to repair anything. You can wear everything down to 0 if you want to, but I tend to be a little bit more proactive about it. Always respect your tools, man. Your tools are what get you through. You respect them. I respect my controllers. I respect my recording devices. The camera, the web camera, is now more still because I realized now that I have the system, the camera is suspended. Oh god, the clock is still going. I was actually going to take a picture of my camera. Just very trippy. But, I've suspended the camera from my ceiling in order to get it in the proper position for these videos. And I initially did that with a soft wire that's designed to hold up light pictures, but the soft wire made it too jiggly and it would twist a little bit even during the show. So I respect my camera. I replaced the thin jiggly wire with a heavy chain. Not too heavy, but still a heavy metal chain that can now hold it much more still because I respect my tools. Respect your tools, folks. They're what let you do your job. That's especially true if it's your dream job, and double especially true because I can take it as a tax deduction. Anyway. Alright, so the air filter is not coming off, and if you look at the weight down there, it even says the total weight of the air filter is 46,696 kilograms. That means something is holding it in place, and I see this here, and I think that might be doing it. Nope, air filter is still that high. Okay, is there another cut point? There is not. So that means whatever is holding the air filter in place is like a computer terminal or something. So I'm going to have to deal with that. Let me... Whoa, I just got flung backwards and I'm not sure why. Maybe I need to hold onto the wall the next time I collect a toolkit. Okay. Alright, so let's see what's going on with this air filter. Yes, it was the computer. Oh, here, right here. Didn't see that one. Okay. Yes, now the air filter is 383 kilograms. So that means... Yep, it's the air filter and then these navigation terminals. Now, I could pull the terminals off, but they all go to the same place. They're all going to the barge, so we're just going to grab the whole thing and send it on down. And then down here... Yeah, this part of the ship is pretty well built. So I'm going to cut into the side and get this panel out of here. Oh, the panel is still attached. Okay, so this panel also needs a little extra attention. Oh, it's got a poster on it. Yeah, I bet you they made it... Yeah, now it's free. See, it shouldn't... Pre-patch, that would not be free, because these computers and the crew bed and stuff would count as holding it in place. So, ooh, that is a cool picture. Let's grab that poster. So the beds, this time we do want to take it apart, because the panel goes to the furnace, the beds go to the barge, and then there's an oxygen pickup. So we're gonna... I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab that oxygen. And then we're going to send the aluminum panel to the furnace. Experience tells me that these mattresses don't give me much money, so I usually ignore them. They go to the furnace. You can see in the top left how much that'll be worth. $19,000 for the mattress? Since flippin' when? Usually the mattresses are like a couple hundred. Did they change that in the patch? You can tell. I didn't read the patch notes. But that's fine. Okay, so we've opened up the side of the ship. Hey, there's a bunny. So that allows us to... Alright, we're going to grab the bunny. Kind of look inside here. By opening the side of the ship... Yeah, we can move a little bit easier. These storage bins... Okay, the storage bins are against the wall and against the ground. Definitely prior to the patch, that would mean they wouldn't move. The panel wouldn't move. So I'm going to see if that's still true. Nope. Because the whole panel's moving. That is not the way the game used to work. So that was one of the things that they've patched. Very interesting. Okay, so... Out of sheer laziness, I am going to send the entire panel down into the barge. So I won't be paid for the panel itself, but that allows me to just keep working and not having to pull every single storage bin off of there. And I'm okay with that. Sometimes you don't need to worry about destruction. Sometimes you just want to, like, for the sake of speed and efficiency, sometimes you're going to... you're going to have a thing that's not going to pay off for you, and that is okay. Because remember, the perfect rating in the game is 95%, not 100%. So we're going to get some of this shit out of here so I can friggin' see. These door panels are always really expensive and should go to the barge. Okay, that's all done. Alright, let's start peeling off the side of the ship over here. Holy crap, I really could play this all day. I was actually planning on doing another game. I am going to do that other game, actually. But man, everything in my body is just, or in my brain is just like, just keep playing this. Because it's just, oh my god, there is so much red on the camera. Holy crap. Was that... Wait, was that from the light? Oh, it's... Okay, it's from the game. Alright. Cool. Yeah, that is making my screen very red, so it's making my webcam very red. I like that. Fuck it. I love the way that looks. Yeah, I don't know how professional that's considered compared to some other Let's Players, but... That's the other thing, man. I've been caring too much about what the other Let's Players do, which, from anybody who is a longtime subscriber of mine, just either rolled their eyes or let out a sigh of relief or some combination that I said that. I'm going to say it again to camera just to prove it. I have cared too much about what other Let's Players do. Simple as that. I need to do my own thing. And there are times when that means I'm going to be making decisions that don't help the business of the channel, but fucking I can't anymore. I can't keep pretending I'm something I'm not. Peel away, baby. Peel away. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love that so much. It is my favorite thing in this game. Just seeing the ship peel away thanks to the tether. There we go. All right. Anyway, I've cared too much about what other Let's Players do, so I'm trying to not anymore. I mean, there's still something to learn from other Let's Players, especially those who are farther along. And that, I mean, this is true in any business. You should and can learn from the masters of your chosen profession, but that doesn't mean you have to 100% emulate them. And I've kind of had a bit of an epiphany in the last few weeks, which is, it's the family emergency was bad, obviously, and I wish it had never happened, but it did give me a little time to get away and think a little bit about the direction of the show. And not only have I been caring too much about what other Let's Players think, I've been caring a little too much about what other people think in general with the show. And not weighing feedback properly, because I believe, 100% believe, that you should listen to feedback, even the negative stuff. You should listen to it. But the trick is you need to put the appropriate amount of weight onto every bit of feedback. Like, if someone shows up to my channel, has never been here before, and they're just like, you suck, you're boring. Like, I'm still going to listen to it. It's okay to listen to it. But I will appropriately weigh it by not giving a shit. And then reacting accordingly. And I believe, in my heart of heart, that that is important. You should weigh every piece of advice you get, but that does not mean you take every piece of advice you get. And you shouldn't. You know, there's always a balance between... there's a balance between being flexible and open enough to take suggestions and also not
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
not going against your original vision, especially in a creative field. And that is where I am at. I got a little too much away from my own vision of what this channel is and should be. So we're going to fix that. We're going to fix it. I promise. And the show's going to be better as a result. I guarantee it. Anyway, so enough about that. All right, so with this,
Transferring credits.
that's everything in the main body of the ship aside from the top panel. So we're gonna deal with that real quick. Get this top panel cut away. There we go. Okay. Part of that whole thing about wanting to listen to myself more, that's why I want to do more blue-collar simulators. So, and what I'm going to try to do is not worry about completing them. Like, I'm not planning on playing Shipbreaker to completion unless you all ask for it. And that's a huge change from the way I used to run the show, where anytime I touched a game, my intent was to finish it. like finishing it became the default action, and I don't think that has been healthy for me. So now it is not what the default action is. Now the default action is to just have fun with it and play it for a couple episodes and see how it does. And if a billion people start watching this, then sure, I will absolutely complete this game. But it's not going to be it's not going to be the main thing I worry about now. All right, so I have cut the ship in half. I think. Yeah, this part's definitely separate, but it's so close to the thing that I need to move it. And that's what these spiky doos are for, which I found out. Functionally, these spiky doos have infinite mass. So what you do, if you just need to get something out of the way for the moment, you just tether it to one of the spiky doos. Like that. Yeah, see how now that section is breaking away? And I did that because this section is supposed to go into the furnace, but I can't get it into the furnace from its current angle because the thrusters are in the way. And the thrusters need to go into the processor. So, looks like we're going to have one more day where I'm going to have to do some more. Okay, so now that this has moved, now I can send it into the furnace. Like so. There we go. And so now it'll head there without hitting the thrusters, hopefully. So I'm going to spend the remaining minute and a half I've got just watching the thing. There's a button to cancel your tether. And the downside, the trick, really, is that when you cancel your tether, it cancels all the tethers immediately. So you need to make sure you know what you're doing when you cancel the tether. But that was perfect. So this entire thing is going to head into the furnace. And at this point, I could cancel the tethers, but I don't need to. So we're just going to watch this burn up together. There we go. I'm pretty sure I got everything out of it. It's too late if I forgot anything. Yeah, I never count the lights. The lights are nothing. Oh, are you even seeing that? I'll have to figure out where to put my camera. I'll probably put it in the... I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so all of that's taken care of. Yeah, we're good to go. So we only have 19 seconds left. I'm not going to do another mid-roll ad. Done enough of them, even though we're pushing an hour and a half on the clock. Holy shit. I said I didn't have time for a full recording session. And I'm not even on the second game that I intended to do today. Holy crap. It's fine. This is what I need to do. I need to take more frequent breaks from the games that are our staple games. Like, I need to record, say, one session of Monster Rancher and then one session of something else. Just to keep my sanity, man. Just to keep my interest in doing the show nice and high instead of dreading's the wrong word, but instead of like not wanting to, I guess you could say. There we go. Yeah, I like that. Wait, let's put the bunny closest to my head when I have myself asleep. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, let's finish up this ship, and then we'll call it a stream and or a show, an episode. Episode might be a little bit of a misnomer when we've gone 74 minutes according to the clock. Whatever. Some of you have watched this whole thing. Most of you haven't. That's okay. You enjoy my content however you want to enjoy my content. All right. So those last couple, all those destructions that are coming up, those were from that panel that I sent to the barge at the end of the last day. Oh.
Different, I guess. Nothing quite like wrestling a calf. Whoa. That's so cool. Eris doesn't get fresh meat, just big stuff.
Yeah, even on Earth, it's only really for rich people.
It was a pretty good job growing up. even if it was hard. It's not what it used to be.
Huh. How so?
Mr. Tucker, the owner, was about as useful as a steering wheel on a mule. No clue how to run a ranch. Was mostly my family keeping things going. But Tucker cut corners too much. Raising cattle on Mars is just a damn tricky thing. So we ended up struggling just to keep him alive.
That sounds fascinating. And also a little sad.
So it wasn't pleasant near the end, kiddo.
Yeah. I love this. I love these little peeks into everybody's lives that you got. So usually, you should do the thrusters first because of what you just saw.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Usually when you break that apart, the thrusters go flying if they're not weighed down by the rest of the thing. So usually, when you do the thruster like that, you then have to race to the flush switch, but I didn't have to this time. Pyro pro tip, unless they've patched this, when you get to the flush valve, hang on to the goddamn wall when you press it. Because what this does is it separates the two pieces of the thruster. You can see them breaking off like that. And if you're not holding onto the wall, you can get crushed, which makes no sense because there should be nothing flying toward you. However, that is what you have to do because of the way the game was designed or something. It's very strange. I don't think that was the intended behavior, but it is the behavior that wound up happening. So you need to be really careful that you don't die, especially in permadeath. And later on, that becomes even more challenging because you have to pop the thruster cap off and then race some fire to throw that switch in darkness. It gets really intense. I thought we'd have to do that here, but I guess not. So this is going to be a very quick finish to our ship. Then we can call it. So this is, again, another situation where I don't really need to cut this away, and it's actually a little dangerous to do this, but to maximize your salvage, you need to cut away this fuel section. And then this whole thing goes to the barge. And then this thing, the injector plate, goes into the processor. So you don't have to do that, but the injector plate is worth a lot of money if I remember correctly. Let's see. Fuel tanks were 56,000 each. Fuel injector was 406,000. Yeah. Oh, the panel was only 43,000? The base plate was only 4,100. Well, that's not fucking worth it. I should have just hucked the whole thing into the barge. Oh my god. If I had known that, I would have never been cutting these. Are you kidding me? Alright, that's fine. Alright, we'll do that for this one. Oh yeah, this is a very awkward angle. I should not have tried this without leaving it attached to the ship. Okay, well, this is fine. Hold on to the wall, flush the valves, and then you just count to a few seconds and then break away. And I'm going to have to run back to the hab because I need more tethers. So I'm going to at least do this and start the process.
You're out of tethers. Get yourself over to the kiosk to buy some more.
You got it, Weaver. I need some oxygen, too. So, this works out. I would buy fuel as well, but we're going to be done with the day before my fuel runs out, so not a problem. We are almost done. This has been so fun. I cannot believe I've been doing this episode for 80 minutes. It does not feel like 80 minutes. It's certain games, man. Some games just speak to you, and there are some games that I could do for a very, very long extended session, and this is one of them. This is one of my big favorite games of. I still think this is going to be my game of the year 2022. Legit. I was researching. Apparently, this game's been out a while. Like, not 2022. I think 2022 was its full release, right? And then, because I was seeing some YouTube videos that were from like 2019, maybe. So maybe this game's been in early access a while, and I didn't realize it. There we go. Yeah, you always want to keep those nacelle panels double tethered toward the processor. I don't know if they've patched it again, but like when I use one tether, my nacelles tend to get caught up on this dividing section, and I had to do a dangerous maneuver where I have to basically get to the furnace like this and then bump it and then quickly get out of the furnace, which is not a position you want to find yourself in. All right, so we're going to just send that whole thing to the barge. And then I'm going to send this over here. Send this over here.
Salvage deposit registered.
And we are beyond goal 5, so that's it. We've done all we needed to do.
Rewards maximized.
I'm going to wait until until that panel gets done, and I'll be golden. So these things, these are collectible parts for another part of the storyline that we may or may not get to. I wish I could grab them now. They just kind of exist for now, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to leave them. But I'm seeing them, and like my fingers are just twitching because I'm like, I want to collect them. The game just won't let me collect them. There we go. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, and then there's very little on the bar that's left, and that's that fuel injector plate that I sent into the barge. I cannot believe that's so cheap. All of the ships and all of the dangerous maneuvers I've done to try to separate the fuel tanks from the injector plate, and I never had to do it. I'm gonna kick my own butt over that. But anyway, we are done. Come on, me. Come on, get into the hab. There you go, me. Perfect. Oh, that was a great session. $3 million from that one day. We are now rank 6, and things are looking good. This is one. God, I love this game so much. I really do. I love this game so much. Ooh, it's getting really dark. I just realized the ambient light isn't showing off much of my, it's not showing off much of my living room anymore, and that's okay. Hey, no cutscene. All right, so that's going to do it for today for this very long episode. Once again, if you are interested in seeing more Hardspace Shipbreaker, please let me know in the comments. I will probably do it this way if we do any more, where it's just long episodes where we can just do what we want, and I'll just chat about what I want, and we'll go from there. But that's going to do it for today. Thank you all very much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow for another episode of something. I say tomorrow. It probably won't be. If you're watching this on release date, it'll probably be a few days. But anyway, whatever. Stay subscribed. Bye!